Picture this, a massive storm rolls in and rain is just hammering your roof. You're inside, nice and dry, but outside there's this unsung hero working overtime to protect your entire home. It's not flashy, it's not fancy, but it is absolutely critical. Yeah, I'm talking about your downspout. And today, we're going to break down exactly how to keep it working perfectly so you can avoid thousands, literally thousands, in water damage.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to talk about why downspouts are your home's first line of defense. Then, how to spot those silent threats before they get bad. We'll get into a super quick fix, then talk about winning the long-term war on debris, and finally, we'll cover how to know when it's time to just call in a pro.
All right, first up, let's really get into what this humble piece of pipe actually does and why, it's so incredibly important for the health of your entire house.
So its one job is actually pretty simple. Take all that water collecting in your gutters and just get it away from the base of your house. It sounds easy, right? But you have to remember, the sheer volume of water it handles during a heavy storm is just massive.
And that's really the catch, isn't it? It's one of those things we totally ignore. But the moment that simple pipe fails because of a clog, well, the consequences can go from being a minor pain to a full-blown financial catastrophe. And that brings us right to our next point. So, let's talk about those silent threats, because a small clump of leaves today can become a serious threat to your home's foundation tomorrow. You just have to know the science. And really, this is the core question. See, when a downspout clogs, the water doesn't just spill over the side of the gutter. No, it pools and soaks the ground right next to your foundation, which is the absolute last place you want a ton of standing water.
Now, what's really great about this list is that these are all clues you can spot yourself. You don't need to climb a ladder or anything. If you see puddles forming at the base, or weird stains on your walls, or just junk sticking out of the bottom of the pipe, you've got a problem that needs your attention, like right now.
And this quote, man, it just nails it. We're not talking about a little inconvenience here. We're talking about protecting your home from serious stuff like dampness, mold, and the kind of super expensive structural repairs nobody ever wants to deal with.
Okay, we've identified the problem. Now for the good news, solving it is often way easier than you think. Let's walk through a really simple step-by-step plan that'll clear out most of the common blockages you'll run into. The key here is to just follow these steps in order. Start easy, right? A simple visual check at the bottom. If that doesn't do it, grab a garden hose and try to flush it out from the top. And for those really tough, stubborn clogs, a plumber snake can usually break it up. See? This turns what seems like a big job into a totally manageable weekend task. Clearing out a clog feels great, for sure. But what feels even better? Preventing it from ever happening in the first place. This is where we stop being reactive and start being proactive. Just think of this as your annual checkup schedule for your gutters. A quick look in the spring, another check after any big storm, and then a really thorough cleaning in the fall before everything freezes up. This alone will keep you ahead of 99% of potential problems.
And this is how you upgrade your defenses. We're talking simple, inexpensive things like leaf guards to stop gunk from getting in. Downspout extensions and splash blocks make sure the water that does come out is sent far away from your foundation. I'm telling you, these small investments can save you an absolute fortune.
So while doing it yourself is incredibly effective, it is just as important to recognize when a clog isn't just a clog, but a symptom of a much bigger issue, one that really needs a professional eye. This slide right here is your cheat sheet. If you're just dealing with a few leaves once a year, you've totally got this. But if you clean the downspout and the clog comes right back, or if you still see water pooling down by the foundation, yeah, that's when it's time to call in an expert. They can figure out if there's a deeper, maybe even a structural issue going on. So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's that a few minutes of simple, proactive maintenance on a part of your house you probably never think about can protect your single biggest investment. Because let's be honest, the one thing we know is always coming is the next big storm. Taking action now is everything.